Stop right now, my child, and listen with your whole heart, because if I say stop, you cannot afford to keep moving as if nothing is wrong. You have been rushing through warning signs, silencing the stirring in your spirit, and calling it stress when it was my voice trying to save you before the fall. This is not just another message crossing your screen. This is a divine interruption, a holy halt, and a moment you were meant to hear before you take one more step in the wrong direction. Stay with me until the very end, because what I am about to reveal will expose what has been draining your peace and show you why my stop has been the very thing protecting your future. Do not click away. Do not brush this off. If you leave too soon, you may miss the very warning your soul has been begging heaven to send. My child, I need you to hear me with a quiet heart right now, because this is not one of those moments where you can keep moving and hope you will understand later. This is one of those moments where I am asking you to stop because I love you too much to let you keep going in the direction you have been heading without hearing what I need to say. You have been carrying so much inside yourself lately. You have been pushing through things you never fully healed from, making decisions while tired, trying to stay strong when your spirit has been asking for rest, and convincing yourself that if you just keep going a little longer, maybe the pressure will finally ease. But I want you to understand something that your heart hath been struggling to accept. Movement is not always progress. Just because you are doing something does not mean you are moving toward peace. Just because a door is open does not mean I opened it for you. Just because something feels urgent does not mean it is mine. There are moments when I step into your path and say stop, not because I want to frustrate you, not because I want to punish you, and not because I am trying to withhold something good from you, but because I can already see what you cannot. I can see where this road leads if you keep going in your current state. I can see what your emotions are not letting you recognize. I can see the hidden cost attached to the thing you are trying so hard to reach. And because I am your father, because I know you, because I love you more deeply than you realize, I will interrupt you before I let you wound yourself trying to force what was never meant to be forced. You have asked me to guide you, and I have heard every one of those prayers, even the quiet ones you barely had words for. But guidance does not always come as a green light. Sometimes my love shows up as restraint. Sometimes my protection sounds like no. Sometimes my mercy looks like interruption. And if I tell you to stop, I need you to trust that I am not trying to make your life smaller. I am trying to keep your heart safe. I am trying to protect your peace before it gets entangled in something that will take longer to recover from than you understand right now. So breathe for a moment. Let the noise settle. Let your need to rush fall away. I am here with you in this pause, and this pause is not empty. This is where I begin to show you what your soul has been missing. My child, there are moments when I speak softly and wait for your heart to lean in. And then there are moments like this when I need you to stop where you are and take my words seriously, because what is unfolding around you is not small. You have been sensing that something inside you is unsettled, but instead of listening, you have been trying to outrun that feeling. You have called it stress. You have called it overthinking. You have called it exhaustion. But I need you to understand that what you have been feeling is often the weight of my warning pressing against your spirit before pain has the chance to settle in. I do not always raise my voice, but when I do, it is because I can see the edge you are nearing even while you are still convincing yourself you are safe. That is why I am speaking with urgency now. I am not trying to frighten you. I am trying to wake you up before you drift into something that will cost you peace, clarity, and precious time you cannot easily reclaim. So stop and listen. Do not push past this moment. Do not brush this off. Let my voice cut through the noise because I am speaking directly to you. and I am doing it because I care about what happens next in your life more than you know. You have a habit, my child, of waiting until the ache becomes unbearable before you finally admit that I was warning you. I have watched you keep going after your spirit already felt heavy. I have watched you continue conversations that should have ended, entertain thoughts that should have been dismissed, and pursue things that looked promising on the outside while your inner world quietly lost its peace. I need you to stop treating my caution like a suggestion. When I stir your spirit, when I disturb your comfort, when I place a check in your heart that you cannot explain, that is not something to negotiate with. That is me loving you in real time. That is me stepping between you and unnecessary sorrow. So pause. Put down what you are trying to force. Step back from the thing you are trying to justify. Come closer to me instead. Sit with me. Ask me again, and this time stay long enough to hear the answer. I want your attention, not because I need to prove my authority, but because I want to protect what is still tender in you. Let this be the moment where you stop calling my urgency an interruption and start recognizing it as rescue. My child, I know how hard it has been for you to wait. I know what it feels like from your side of the silence. I know how long the nights have felt when you wanted an answer and all you had was uncertainty. I know how tempting it is for you to move simply because standing still makes you feel exposed, vulnerable, and afraid that nothing will ever change. But listen to me carefully now, because this is where you keep hurting yourself without realizing it. You have been mistaking movement for healing. You have been assuming that if you just act quickly enough, choose something fast enough, grab hold of something before it slips away, then maybe the discomfort in your heart will finally settle. But that is not how peace works. Peace is not born from panic. Wisdom does not grow in a rushed soul. When you move faster than the truth I am trying to show you, you do not escape pain. You carry it forward into the next place. You have done that before, and you know the cost. You know what it feels like to arrive somewhere new only to realize you brought the same ache with you because the real issue was never the location, the opportunity, or the person. The real issue was that you moved before your heart was aligned with me. So slow down now. Do not run ahead of what I am doing. Stay with me in this moment. Let me settle what is unsettled in you before you take another step. I am not asking you to stay still because I want your life to remain stuck. I am asking you to stop because I want your next step to be clean, clear, and covered in my peace. There is a difference between a door opening and a door being right for you. There is a difference between relief and direction. There is a difference between escape and obedience. I need you to learn that difference because your future is too valuable to be shaped by desperation. Come closer and listen. Let me untangle the urgency that has been driving you. Let me show you where your fear has been disguising itself as wisdom. Let me teach you how to wait without collapsing inside. You do not need to grab at the first thing that moves. You do not need to chase every option that appears. You do not need to prove that you are doing something. Rest your hand. Quiet your mind. Give me your next decision before you give it to your emotions. If I ask you to stop, then stop fully. If I ask you to wait, then wait with trust. Because when you move with me, even slow steps become safe steps, and safe steps will carry you farther than rushed ones ever could. My child, come closer and listen carefully, because this is where you must stop trusting only what your eyes can measure. You are looking at what is in front of you and trying to decide whether it is safe, whether it is good, whether it will finally bring you the relief you have been craving. But you are only seeing the surface, and the surface has misled you before. You can see what glitters, what comforts, what promises quick relief, what appears to answer the ache inside you. but I see what is attached to it long after the excitement fades. I see the hidden weight. I see the silent cost. I see what your emotions cannot detect while they are hungry for change. This is why I tell you to stop when you want to keep moving. This is why I interrupt you when you think you are finally getting somewhere. It is not because I want to make things harder for you. It is because I can already see the cliff while you are still admiring the view. So stop trying to judge everything by what feels immediate. Stop leaning on what looks impressive. Stop assuming that what shines is what is safe. Come sit with me. Bring me your plans. Bring me your excitement. Bring me the thing you are about to say yes to. Let me search it with the wisdom you do not yet have from your current position. I am not asking you to become suspicious of everything. I am asking you to become surrendered enough to let me show you what is hidden. You have asked me before why certain things fell apart after you were so sure they were right. You wondered why something that seemed so beautiful ended up becoming heavy. You questioned why what looked like an answer slowly turned into another burden. My child, it was because you trusted appearance more than discernment. You trusted momentum more than peace. And I am not saying that to wound you. I am saying it because I want to free you from repeating it. Let this be the moment where you stop calling visible evidence your only truth. Lift your eyes higher. Ask me what you cannot see. Stay long enough for me to uncover what your heart keeps overlooking. I know the future attached to what is in front of you. I know the conversations that have not happened yet. I know the tears that have not fallen yet. I know the weariness that has not arrived yet. And because I know, I am speaking now. Trust me before the damage appears. Trust me while the warning is still gentle. Pull your hand back if I tell you to. Close the door if I make your spirit uneasy. Walk away if my peace leaves the room. I do not need you to understand everything before you obey me. I need you to trust that my sight reaches farther than yours ever could. Do you see now why I ask you to stop? It is not only to protect you, but to position you as a vessel through which my voice reaches others who are standing at their own unseen cliffs. What you give in this moment becomes seed in my hands, and I breathe upon it until it becomes a harvest of transformed lives. I have said, give, and it will be given to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, and I speak that over you now as a living promise. When you release what is in your hand, I release what is in mine. This is your moment to partner with me, to let your obedience become oil that keeps this message burning for those still in darkness. Do not hesitate, because hesitation dulls the edge of obedience. If your heart is stirred, that is me calling you into action. So now through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, and watch how I multiply what you entrust to me. My child, I know what happens inside you when I close a door, delay an answer, or block a path you were ready to run down. You start wondering if I have stepped back from you. You start asking whether I have gone silent. You begin to feel as if the pause means distance, and the interruption means rejection. But I need you to let that lie go today, because it has been hurting your heart in ways you do not fully realize. When I tell you to stop, I am not walking away from you. I am stepping closer than before. When I keep you from something, I am not withholding love. I am applying it. You have been interpreting restraint as absence when it has actually been one of the deepest forms of my protection in your life. There are moments when I place my hand directly between you and what you are reaching for, not because I want to embarrass you, not because I want to leave you empty, but because I know what would happen if I let you keep going untouched. I know the damage that would slowly build. I know the confusion that would grow roots. I know the part of your heart that would become more tired, more wounded, more guarded than it already is. So when I say no, when I say not yet, when I say stop, do not assume I have become distant. Instead, come closer. Stay near me. Let that closed door drive you into my presence, not away from it. You need to understand this with all your heart, my beloved. I do not block what is best for you. I block what would break you, distract you, delay you, or drain you in ways you are not prepared to carry. Sometimes you only see the disappointment of the moment, but I see the long road ahead. You feel the sting of the closed door, but I feel the sorrow I am saving you from. That is why I want you to change the way you respond when I stop you. Do not pull away. Do not harden your heart. Do not let disappointment convince you that I have become silent. Instead, pause and ask me, Father, what are you protecting me from? What are you preserving in me? What would I lose if you let me have this too soon? Then wait. Stay in that question. Invite me deeper into your hurt. Let me comfort the part of you that feels confused. I want to heal the place in you that keeps mistaking block paths for abandoned prayers. I have never left you. I have never ignored you. Even in the moments when I would not let you continue, I was still guiding you with a firm and faithful hand. So trust this. My stop is not the end of my love. It is often the clearest proof that my love is standing right in front of you. My child, I want you to slow down right here and pay attention to something you have felt many times but have not always respected. You know that quiet heaviness that settles in your chest when everything looks fine on the outside, yet something inside you refuses to relax. You know that subtle resistance you feel when you are about to say yes, when you are about to send the message, when you are about to walk back into something you already know has drained you before. That feeling is not always fear. It is not always anxiety. Many times it is me. I need you to stop dismissing the very signal I have been using to protect you. You have become so used to overriding your own spirit that you sometimes call discernment a mood and call my warning stress. But I am speaking to you through that pause. I am touching your conscience before the consequence arrives. I am disturbing your comfort before the damage takes root. So do not rush past it this time. Stop. Put your hand down. Step back from the thing you are about to force. Sit still with me for a moment and ask me what that unrest is trying to tell you. I am not trying to make you suspicious of life. I am trying to make you sensitive to me. Your peace is precious, and I will often remove it before I remove the opportunity, because I want you to learn how to recognize my hand before the storm begins. You have asked me for clear direction, but I have been speaking in ways you already understand. That check in your spirit is not random. That inner hesitation is not weakness. That lack of peace is not something to silence just because the situation looks attractive. My child, some of your deepest regrets began with a moment when you felt that warning and kept going anyway. You know this. You felt it when you stayed too long. You felt it when you trusted too quickly. You felt it when you reopened doors I had quietly closed. And I am not bringing that up to shame you. I am bringing it up because I want you free. I want you wise. I want you to stop abandoning your own discernment just because your emotions are hungry for relief. So listen to me now. If your spirit indignant, pause. If your peace leaves, do not chase the moment harder. If you feel me pressing you to wait, then wait. Invite me in before you proceed. Ask me again before you commit. Let the discomfort become your cue to come closer, not your reason to push harder. I am teaching you to trust what I place inside you. I am teaching you that guidance is not always loud, but it is real. And if you learn to honor that inner warning, you will avoid so many wounds that never needed to become part of your story. My child, I need to speak to you plainly here, because I love you too much to let you confuse spiritual language with spiritual obedience. There are times when you have called something faith simply because it felt bold, intense, or emotionally charged, but deep inside, you already knew I had not told you to move. You have stepped into situations claiming trust while your spirit was already unsettled. You have pursued people, opportunities, and decisions under the banner of courage when what was really driving you was fear of waiting, fear of missing out, or fear of feeling powerless in the silence. That is not the kind of faith I am trying to build in you. Faith is not proving to me that you are willing to take risks. Faith is trusting me enough to stay still when stillness feels uncomfortable. Faith is obeying when obedience makes no sense to your natural mind. Faith is not running ahead and asking me to bless what I never asked you to touch. So hear me now and let this settle deeply in you. If I told you to stop and you keep moving, that is not faith. If I removed your peace and you called it a challenge to overcome, that is not faith. If I warned your spirit and you forced the door anyway, that is not courage. That is self-will wrapped in spiritual language. Come out of that confusion now. Lay it down. Stop trying to make disobedience sound holy. Let me teach you the kind of trust that does not need drama to feel real. I know why this has been hard for you. Waiting makes you feel exposed. Obedience without visible proof can make you feel foolish. Standing still while others move can stir old insecurities in you. But I am not asking you to perform for anyone. I am asking you to walk with me. And walking with me will sometimes mean saying no to what looks exciting because I said no in your spirit. It will mean stepping back from something you could easily justify because I did not release you into it. It will mean choosing peace over pressure, restraint over reaction, surrender over impulse. That is where real strength begins. So stop and ask yourself honestly, did I lead you there, or did your emotions drag you there while you called it faith? Be truthful with me, because I can heal what you admit. Bring me the places where you have been forcing what I never spoke. Hand me the places where you have been trying to baptize your own urgency. I am not condemning you. I am correcting you because I want your next yes to be clean. I want your next step to be aligned. I want you to know what it feels like to move because I actually sent you, not because you were tired of waiting. Stay with me here. Let me retrain your heart. I will show you that true faith is quieter than performance, but far stronger than impulse. My child, I need you to understand something that will save you from so much unnecessary sorrow if you truly let it settle into your heart. Not everything that looks good is good for you right now. Some things are appealing, polished, and full of promise on the surface, but they are not aligned with what I am building in you. You keep looking at what feels beautiful in the moment and assuming beauty is the same as blessing. It is not. There are things that shine brightly and still carry a shadow behind them. There are doors that look golden from a distance and yet open into rooms that slowly steal your peace. I am not saying this to make you fearful. I am saying it because I want you to stop mistaking attraction for assignment. You have done that before. You have stepped toward what felt right in the moment, only to find that it was heavy, draining, and misaligned once you got close enough to live inside it. So why interrupt something that seems good? Do not resent me. Gauze. Step back. Bring it to me again. Hold it in open hands. Let me search it. Let me show you what your emotions are too eager to notice. I see timing. I see motive. I see hidden attachments. I see whether this thing will nourish your spirit or slowly numb it. I see whether it fits the life I am shaping for you or whether it only looks appealing because you are tired and hungry for quick relief. Come here and let me refine your vision. You not chase what glitters just because it glitters. Wait until you know whether it carries my peace. There is a subtle danger that has tripped you before, and it was not always obvious darkness. It was often the wrong version of good. That is what makes it dangerous. It did not look destructive at first. It looked harmless. It looked helpful. It looked like a solution. But over time, it pulled you away from the deeper work I was trying to do in your heart. It distracted you from what mattered. It occupied your hands while your soul slowly drifted. My child, some of the hardest lessons in your life came from things you never thought to question because they did not seem sinful, only sensible. But I am calling you higher now. I am asking you to stop settling for what merely looks acceptable and start seeking what is truly aligned. Ask me before you say yes. Invite me into the details. Let me challenge what seems obvious. If I interrupt your excitement, do not take it as loss. Take it as love. If I slow your pace, do not call it delay. Call it discernment. Sit with me before you move. Let me separate what is good from what is God-breathed. Your future is too sacred to be shaped by surface-level choices. Stay close, and I will teach you how to recognize the difference between what looks right and what truly belongs to you. When I interrupt what looks good, it is because I am leading you into what is eternal, and this moment is one of those invitations. There are souls waiting for truth, standing at doors that look golden, but lead to emptiness, and your giving helps my voice reach them before they step through. I declare over you, those who sow in tears shall reap in joy, and your obedience today will not return empty. This is not just support. This is sacred alignment with my purpose, a river flowing through you to others. What you release becomes light in someone else's darkness, clarity in someone else's confusion. Do not call this small, because I breathe on what is surrendered and make it significant. If you feel the pull, it is my spirit prompting you to act. Give now through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, and step into the blessing of obedience. My child, I need you to stop and be honest with yourself right now, because you have been trying to make weighty decisions while carrying a tired heart, a restless mind, and emotions that have been stretched thin for far too long. You have been telling yourself that you need to decide now, act now, respond now, fix it now. But what you are calling urgency is often the voice of exhaustion wearing a disguise. You are not seeing clearly because you are depleted. When your soul is worn down, everything feels louder than it really is. Small problems start feeling massive. Temporary feelings start looking permanent. A passing fear starts sounding like a prophecy. This is why I am stepping in and telling you to stop. I am not trying to keep you from moving forward. I am trying to keep your fatigue from choosing your future. I know how badly you want relief. I know how tempting it is to grab the first thing that offers comfort, closure, attention, or escape. But you must not make permanent decisions from temporary depletion. You must not let weariness sit in the seat of wisdom. Come away with me for a moment. Put the pressure down. Set the decision on the table and leave it there. Do not touch it until your spirit is quieter. Breathe. Rest. Let me calm the storm inside you before you decide what comes next. You do not need to solve this while your heart is still shaking. You have been trying to think clearly while carrying invisible weight, and I need you to understand that this matters more than you realize. Emotional exhaustion can make the wrong thing look necessary. It can make unhealthy attachment feel like safety. It can make a door I never opened feel like the only chance you have left. My child, you are vulnerable when you are drained, and there is no shame in admitting that. In fact, there is wisdom in it. So stop pretending you are in a strong place when you know your spirit has been frayed. Come closer. Tell me the truth about how tired you are. Let me meet you there instead of watching you force another rush choice from an empty place. I want you to learn a holy pause here. I want you to learn that rest is not weakness and waiting is not failure. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is delay the decision. Turn down the noise and let your soul breathe before you move. So do this now. Release the need to answer immediately. Step away from the pressure. Stop trying to control the outcome while you are running on fumes. Sit with me until your thoughts settle and your peace returns. I can restore what fatigue has blurred. I can clear what stress has clouded. And when you are rested in me, you will see more clearly than you ever could while rushing in your own strength. My child, I need you to stop right here before you speak from the place where you are hurting. I know the pressure inside you has been building. I know there are words forming in your mouth, messages waiting in your hands, responses rising in your chest that feel justified because you are tired, wounded, and deeply misunderstood. But I am asking you now, do not release those words in this condition. Put the phone down. Step back from the conversation. Close your mouth for a moment and sit with me before you answer anyone. I am not telling you that your feelings are wrong. I am telling you that your timing matters. You can speak truth and still cause damage if you speak it while your spirit is inflamed. You can be right about what you feel and still create consequences that will take far longer to heal than the moment of relief that comes from finally saying it. I see the ache beneath your anger. I see the fear beneath your frustration. I see how badly you want to be heard. But I also see what those words will do if they leave you before I have had the chance to steady your heart. That is why I am stopping you. Not because I want you silent forever, but because I want your words to carry wisdom instead of wounds. So breathe. Wait. Invite me into this moment before you let emotion take the wheel. You have spoken from pain before, and you know how it feels after the heat fades. You know what it is like to replay the moment, wishing you had paused longer, listened deeper, or let me settle you first. My child, some fires in your life were not started by evil intentions. They were started by untamed reactions. A few sentences, a sharp tone, one emotional decision, and suddenly what could have been handled gently became something heavy. I do not want that for you again. So let me teach you another way. When your chest tightens and your thoughts begin racing, stop. When you feel the urge to defend yourself instantly, pause. When you want to explain everything in one burst of emotion, come to me first. Say, Father, hold my tongue until my heart is clear. Then stay there with me. Let me sort what needs to be said from what only needs to be surrendered. Let me cool what is burning in you. Let me show you whether this is a moment for silence, a moment for truth, or a moment to walk away entirely. Your words carry weight, and I want them to heal more than harm. Trust me enough to delay the release. Give me the reaction before you give it to them. If I say stop, then stop completely, because one moment of restraint can save you from months of regret. My child, one of the deepest things I am doing in you right now is teaching you how to obey me before your emotions finish arguing. You have often treated my warnings like something to consider instead of something to honor. You have paused just long enough to notice my caution, but then you kept moving because you wanted more confirmation, more comfort, more visible proof, or simply more time to do what felt easier to you. But I need you to understand why this matters so much. Delayed obedience still opens the door to damage. The moment I say stop is not random. The timing of my instruction carries protection within it. When I tell you to pull back, there is a reason that exists in that exact moment, not 3 days later when the cost has already started to grow roots. This is why I am training your spirit to respond quickly. I am not trying to make you anxious. I'm making you attentive. I am not trying to strip you of thought. I am teaching you discernment that moves faster than impulse. So when you feel me restrain you, do not negotiate. When you sense me warning you, do not delay. When my peace lifts, do not keep pushing to see how far you can go before something breaks. Stop. Turn. Return to me immediately. That kind of obedience is not weakness. It is strength under surrender, and it will protect you in ways you cannot fully measure yet. I know why you hesitate. Immediate obedience can feel uncomfortable because it removes your illusion of control. It asks you to trust me before you have all the details. It asks you to stop when part of you still wants to see how things might play out. But my child, you have already seen how costly that curiosity can become when it is rooted in disobedience. You do not need to touch every fire to know it burns. You do not need to test every boundary to know I was right. Come closer and let me shape something stronger in you. Let me build the kind of inner response that says yes to me without dragging your feet. Practice this with me. The next time I nudge you, obey quickly. The next time I say not now, honor it without resentment. The next time your peace disappears, do not chase the thing harder. Pull back and come sit with me. Immediate obedience will begin to clear the fog from your life. It will save you from confusion that was never meant to become your teacher. It will sharpen your hearing, deepen your peace, and strengthen your trust in ways that slow compromise never can. So do not resist this lesson. Receive it. Let me train your reflexes in the spirit. I want your heart to become so close to mine that when I whisper, you move without fear, because you already know my voice leads only toward life. My child, I know how quickly your heart starts grieving when something you hoped for suddenly stalls, shifts, or slips through your hands. I know how you look at a broken plan and immediately assume you have lost something precious. I know how you feel when the door closes after you had already imagined what life would look like on the other side of it. But I need you to stop and let me reframe this for you, because not everything that falls apart is a tragedy. Some things are collapsing because I refused to let them collapse on top of you later. Some things are being interrupted now because if I allowed them to continue, the damage would have gone deeper, wider, and much farther into your future than you can currently imagine. You see the inconvenience. I see the impact. You feel the sting of the moment. I feel the weight of what I just spared you from. That is why I need you to stop calling every disruption a defeat. Step back from that assumption. Breathe before you label this loss. Come and ask me what I am actually doing. Let me show you whether what you are mourning is something I removed in mercy. Let me show you whether what feels like chaos is really careful protection in disguise. I am not careless with your life. I do not allow things to unravel without purpose. If I shake something loose, there is a reason. If I let something crack, there is something hidden beneath it that needed to be exposed before it became the foundation of your future. You have had moments before where you cried over what did not work, only to realize later that if it had worked, it would have wounded you in ways you were not ready to carry. You have stood in seasons where you called something a loss, and then months later you saw my hand all over the interruption. My child, I need you to remember those moments now. Let memory strengthen your trust. Do not panic when the structure shakes. Do not rush to rebuild what I am trying to remove. Take your hands off it. Stop forcing stability where I am allowing revelation. If the relationship suddenly feels fragile, if the opportunity suddenly feels uncertain, if the path suddenly becomes blocked, do not immediately fight to restore what I may be dismantling. Sit with me first. Ask me whether this is collapse or rescue. Ask me whether this is the enemy attacking or me preventing something far more destructive. Then wait. Let me answer. I want you to become the kind of child who does not fear every interruption because you have learned that my hand can be present even in the breaking. Trust me here. Some things are not falling apart because I forgot you. They are falling apart because I remembered everything about you, your calling, your peace, your healing, and your future, and I refused to let what looked stable become the thing that eventually crushed your spirit. What if even this moment is not interruption, but divine redirection into purpose? As I prevent collapse in your life, I am also building pathways for others to be rescued through the words you help carry forward. I have spoken. Cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days, and I am calling you to trust that promise now. Your giving is not loss. It is protection, multiplication, and alignment with my unseen work. I take what you release and turn it into shelter, into healing, into truth for hearts on the verge of breaking. This is how I use you beyond what you can see. Do not hold back what I am asking you to place in my hands. Step into this moment with faith. Give now through Super Thanks membership with a PayPal link in the description, and watch how I turn your obedience into impact. My child, come sit with me for a moment because I want to put my finger gently on something that has been exhausting you far more than you realize. You have been carrying things I never placed in your hands. You have been trying to hold people together, fix situations that are beyond your assignment, manage outcomes that belong to me, and keep alive what I never told you to sustain. That is why your soul feels so heavy. That is why your thoughts keep circling. That is why your body is tired even when you have done nothing physical. You are not only tired from what life has brought to you, you are tired from what you have volunteered to carry in the name of love, responsibility, fear, and control. But I am telling you now with tenderness and firmness, put it down. Release what I did not give you. Stop calling it faithfulness when it is really overfunctioning. Stop calling it love when it is draining the life out of your peace. Stop calling it responsibility when I never assigned it to your spirit. You are not the savior of everyone around you. You are not required to rescue every broken person, fix every strained connection, or force every unresolved thing into peace with your own strength. That role belongs to me. Come out of that burden, my child. Open your hands. Let me show you what is yours to hold and what is mine alone. I do not want your compassion to become captivity. I do not want your kindness to become chains. You are people you have been trying to keep from falling, but in doing so, you have been slowly falling yourself. There are situations you have been trying to control because the uncertainty frightens you, but that control is stealing your rest and making you believe that if you do not hold everything together, everything will collapse. Listen to me now. If something can only survive by consuming your peace, it is not healthy to carry. If something requires you to abandon your discernment just to keep it alive, it is not aligned. I want you to stop rescuing what I am trying to expose. I want you to stop managing what I am trying to teach you to surrender. So bring it all to me. Name the burden. Identify the person. Tell me the situation you keep rehearsing in your mind. Then place it in my hands and do not pick it back up 5 minutes later. Let me be God in the places where you have been trying to play protector. Let me hold what is too heavy for you. Let me teach you that obedience sometimes looks like stepping back instead of stepping in. You do not need to prove your love by destroying your own peace. You do not need to prove your loyalty by carrying what is crushing you. Lay it down. Walk away from false responsibility. Trust me enough to believe that what is truly yours will remain, and what was never yours to carry will not be sustained by your exhaustion anyway. My child, I want you to listen with a quieter heart now, because one of the reasons you keep feeling lost is not because I am refusing to guide you, but because you are asking for direction while still moving too fast to receive it. You keep saying you want clarity, but the truth is you have been trying to hear me while your mind is crowded, your emotions are loud, and your hands are still reaching for control. Guidance does not always come in the rush. It often comes in the pause you keep resisting. That is why I am asking you again, stop. Stop trying to solve everything while your spirit is unsettled. Stop demanding the next step before you have released the one I already told you to leave behind. Stop filling every silence with worry, noise, or frantic planning. Come sit with me. Be still long enough for your inner world to stop spinning. Let your breathing slow. Let your thoughts settle. Let the pressure fall from your shoulders. I am not withholding the next instruction from you. I am waiting for the noise to thin out enough that you can actually hear it. You have been treating stillness like emptiness, but stillness is often the doorway where I speak most clearly. The next part of your life is not hiding from you. It is waiting in a quieter place than the one you have been living in. You have spent so much time trying to figure out what comes next that you have overlooked what I have been asking of you right now. Sometimes the next direction does not come because the current motion has not stopped. Sometimes I do not reveal the next door because you are still standing in front of the old one, knocking with bruised hands, hoping persistence will change what I already closed. My child, let go of that door. Pull your hand back. Turn your face toward me. Ask me again, but this time do not rush the answer. Sit with me until your spirit becomes steady. Let me separate your fear from my voice. Let me show you the difference between what you want to happen quickly and what I am actually preparing carefully. I need you to trust that the pause is not punishment. It is preparation. It is the sacred space where your hearing sharpens, your motives become clearer, and your next step stops being driven by anxiety. So stop long enough to receive what comes next. Do not run ahead. Do not fill the silence. Do not mistake motion for maturity. Stay here with me. I have more to say, and what I am about to show you will make sense only if you are willing to become still enough to notice it. My child, I need you to understand why I keep calling you into stillness, because there is more happening beneath the surface than you realize. The enemy does not always need to pull you into obvious darkness to weaken you. Sometimes all he needs is to keep your mind rushing, your emotions reacting, and your spirit too noisy to discern what is true. A hurried heart becomes vulnerable. A restless mind becomes easier to mislead. When you are moving too fast, you stop listening carefully. You begin responding instead of discerning. You start making choices from pressure rather than peace. That is why I keep telling you to stop. I am not simply slowing your pace. I am protecting your perception. I am shielding your mind from confusion that enters when you refuse to rest in me. You have felt this before. You have watched a small fear become a giant shadow because you kept feeding it with frantic thoughts. You have seen how quickly one anxious idea can multiply when you keep running without pausing to bring it into my light. So stop now. Break that cycle. Do not let your mind race unchecked. Come sit with me and let me quiet what has been spiraling inside you. I want to teach you that spiritual warfare is not always loud. Sometimes it looks like resisting the urge to panic and choosing to stay still long enough for truth to settle in. You keep thinking your greatest battles are happening outside of you, but many of them are being won or lost in your pace. If the enemy can keep you distracted, emotionally flooded, and mentally scattered, he can make counterfeit answers look convincing. He can make urgency feel holy. He can make you chase what I never sent. My child, do not hand him that advantage. Guard your mind by slowing down. Guard your spirit by refusing to react from pressure. Guard your peace by bringing your thoughts back to me before they build a storm inside you. Here is what I want you to do. When your mind starts racing, stop and breathe. When fear begins painting pictures, interrupt it and come to me. When you feel the pressure to decide too quickly, pull back and wait until peace returns. Invite me into the thought before you follow it. Let me examine what entered your mind before it becomes your direction. I have given you authority to resist confusion, but you must use it. Refuse the rush. Refuse the lie that speed equals wisdom. Refuse the pressure that tells you everything must be handled immediately. Your clarity is precious. Your peace is powerful. Your stillness is not passivity. It is protection. Stay near me, and I will teach you how to recognize the difference between urgency that comes from fear and direction that comes from my spirit. My child, I need you to understand that what I am aggressing in you right now is not only about this one situation sitting in front of you. It is deeper than that, and if you let me reach the root instead of only the surface, I can heal something that has been quietly shaping your choices for far too long. You keep thinking this is about one person, one opportunity, one conversation, one decision that feels heavy in this moment. But I am looking beyond the moment and into the pattern. I am looking at the way you react when uncertainty appears. I am looking at how quickly you reach for control when you feel vulnerable. I am looking at the part of you that panics when clarity does not come immediately and starts forcing movement just to escape the discomfort of not knowing. That is what I am speaking to now. So stop treating this as if it is only about what is happening today. Bring me the deeper thing. Bring me the pattern. Bring me the fear underneath the decision. Bring me the ache that keeps telling you that if you do not act fast, you will lose something important. Sit with me and let me show you that your greatest struggle in this moment may not be the choice itself, but the old wound inside you that keeps making uncertainty feel unbearable. I want to heal that place. I want to free you from the cycle where pressure becomes your compass and panic becomes your pace. You have repeated certain patterns because pain trained you to move that way. Disappointment taught you to brace. Delay taught you to fear silence. Rejection taught you to grasp quickly when something feels available. My child, I see that, and I am not angry with you for it. I'm inviting you out of it. Come closer. Let me put my hand on the place in you that still reacts like it is under threat every time life slows down. Let me teach you a new rhythm. You do not have to keep living as if every uncertain moment is an emergency. You do not have to keep making decisions from the old instinct that says, do something now before it all disappears. That is not how I lead you. I lead you with peace, not panic. I lead you with clarity, not compulsion. So stop and let this become the moment where the pattern breaks. Do not just ask me what to do next. Ask me why you keep feeling unsafe when you have to wait. Ask me why stillness feels so uncomfortable to your heart. Then stay there long enough for me to answer. I am not only trying to guide your next decision, I am trying to mature your inner life so that your future is not constantly shaped by old fears wearing new clothes. Let me go deeper, my beloved. This is how real freedom begins. This is where the pattern breaks, not only in your decisions, but in how you respond when I invite you to trust me with more. You are not just escaping old cycles. You are stepping into a life where obedience flows freely and fear no longer dictates your actions. I have said, honor me with your substance, and your barns will be filled with plenty, and I am speaking that over your life right now. What you sow in faith becomes a harvest that reaches far beyond you, touching lives you may never see but I deeply love. This is deeper than a moment. It is transformation at the root. Let your giving become a declaration that you are no longer led by scarcity, but by trust in me. Break the old pattern of holding back. Act in faith. Give now through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, and step into a new rhythm of blessing. My child, there is something I want you to experience for yourself, because once you truly feel it, you will begin to recognize it as one of the clearest signs that you are walking with me. It is the peace that comes after you finally stop resisting. You know how heavy it feels when you are forcing, striving, overthinking, rehearsing, and trying to hold together what I have already told you to release. You know how your body tightens, how your thoughts race, how your spirit feels crowded when you are wrestling against my restraint. But I want you to notice what happens when you finally surrender. I want you to pay attention to the moment when you stop arguing with me, stop defending your own urgency, stop trying to force the answer you wanted, and simply place it in my hands. Something begins to lift. The pressure starts to loosen. The noise inside you begins to settle. That is not weakness. That is not giving up. That is the holy relief of surrender. That is what it feels like when your soul comes back under the covering of my peace. So come into that place now. Lay the situation down in front of me. Open your hands. Stop rehearsing the same fear. Stop trying to predict every outcome. Stop gripping what I am asking you to release. Let it go, and stay close enough to feel what happens when your burden leaves your shoulders and returns to the one who was always meant to carry it. You have spent so much time thinking peace would come after you got the answer, after the door opened, after the relationship stabilized, after the problem disappeared, after the future became visible. But my child, I want to teach you something deeper than that. My peace does not wait for circumstances to become perfect. My peace often arrives the moment you trust me more than your own need to control. That is why surrender matters so much. It is not passive. It is powerful. It is the place where your spirit stops wrestling for mastery and begins resting in relationship. Come here and learn this with me. The next time you feel the urge to force, pause and release. The next time fear tries to push you into action, step back and choose trust. The next time your mind starts building storms, interrupt it and bring those thoughts to me before they grow roots. I want you to become familiar with the peace that follows obedience. I want you to know the difference between the temporary rush of getting your way and the lasting calm of being led by me. One fades or quickly. The other steadies your soul. So do not run from surrender. Walk into it. Stay there longer than feels natural at first. Let my peace become the proof that you are safe with me. When you stop fighting my hand and start resting in it, you will discover that surrender does not make you smaller. It makes you steadier, clearer, and far stronger than striving ever could. My child, I want you to let this truth settle deeply into your heart, because you have misunderstood some of my boundaries for far too long. When I stop you, I am not trying to take life away from you. I am not trying to make your world smaller, colder, or emptier. I am preserving something inside you that is too precious to be spent carelessly. I am protecting your peace before it gets entangled. I am guarding your tenderness before it hardens. I am shielding your clarity before confusion settles in. I am keeping watch over the part of you that still knows how to trust, still knows how to hope, still knows how to hear me when the world becomes loud. You do not always see what I am preserving because you are focused on what you feel you are losing. But come closer and look again with me. Some of the things you keep reaching for are not merely choices. They are so leaks. They drain your joy, scatter your focus, disturb your rest, and leave you feeling farther from yourself than you were before. That is why I step in. That is why I say stop. Not because I want to deprive you, but because I know what would happen to your inner life if I let everything that attracts you also have access to you. So pause. Do not resent the boundary. Do not grieve it too quickly. Sit with me and ask, Father, what are you preserving in me right now? Let me show you what I value in you so that you stop handing it away to things that were never worthy of touching it. You have been tempted to measure love by how much you are allowed to have. But I need you to learn to recognize love by what I refuse to let destroy you. There are moments when my protection feels like limitation because you are still looking at the moment instead of the long road. But I see the long road, my beloved. I see how one compromised decision can slowly dull your spirit. I see how one unhealthy attachment can quietly reshape your heart. I see how one door opened in the wrong season can pull you miles away from the person I am forming in you. So hear me and trust me here. If I close something, it is because what I placed inside you matters more than what you are trying to gain outside of you. If I interrupt something, it is because your future is too sacred to be built on what weakens your soul. Come and let me reteach your heart. Let me show you that restraint is not rejection. Let me show you that boundaries are not punishments. Let me show you that what I protect in you today will become the strength you stand on tomorrow. Stop fighting my hand when it reaches across your path. Instead, take hold of it. Walk with me. Let me preserve what the world would gladly consume if I did not intervene. You are worth that kind of protection, and I will not apologize for loving you enough to guard what is holy in you. My child, this is where the battle becomes deeply personal, because I am asking you to do something that will stretch your heart in a way you may not be used to. I am asking you to trust me more than what you feel right now. I know your emotions are loud. I know the pressure feels real. I know the fear, the urgency, the longing, the confusion, and even the ache in your chest can make it seem like you must act immediately, or you will lose something important. But I need you to understand that feelings are real without always being reliable. They can tell you what hurts, but they cannot always tell you what is true. They can reveal where you are tender, but they are not always qualified to lead you. That is why I am speaking so clearly to you now. Do not hand your direction over to the loudest emotion in the room. Do not let panic become your prophet. Do not let loneliness make your decisions. Do not let frustration write your next chapter. Come here. Bring every feeling to me. Name it honestly. Tell me where it hurts. Tell me what you are afraid of. Tell me what you want so badly that you are tempted to run ahead of my voice. Then place it all in my hands and let me sort it. I am not asking you to deny what you feel. I am asking you not to worship it. I am asking you not to let it become the final authority over your choices. You have followed feelings before, and you know how quickly they can shift. What felt urgent yesterday may already feel different today. What felt impossible in one moment became manageable after you rested. What felt like a disaster was sometimes only exhaustion talking through your emotions. My child, I want you to become stronger than the surge of the moment. I want you to become anchored enough that you can feel deeply without being ruled blindly. This is spiritual maturity. This is where your trust grows roots. So do this with me now. Pause before you react. Wait before you decide. Bring the emotion into my presence before you turn it into action. If peace is missing, do not move yet. If your spirit is unsettled, do not force clarity. Stay with me until the storm inside you calms enough for truth to become visible again. I want you to know what it feels like to be led by peace instead of pushed by pressure. That is where your safety is. That is where your discernment sharpens. That is where your next step becomes steady instead of shaky. Trust me more than the wave passing through your heart. Trust me more than the fear painting pictures in your mind. Trust me more than the urgency trying to rush you. My voice may be quieter than your feelings at first, but it is truer, steadier, and far more worthy of leading your life. My child, I want you to receive this final word slowly, because this is where everything I have been saying comes together in a way that can change how you walk from this moment forward. Stop. Not because your life is over. Not because I am taking something beautiful away from you. Not because I want you trapped in fear, frozen in uncertainty, or left in confusion. I am telling you to stop because I love you enough to interrupt what would wound you, delay you, or slowly drain the life out of what I have placed inside you. You have been pushing, reaching, carrying, forcing, reacting, and trying to hold everything together with tired hands. You have been moving like if you slowed down, everything will collapse. But I am asking you now, release that lie. Put it down. Step back. Let your hands open. Let your breathing soften. Let the pressure leave your shoulders. Come sit with me and stop trying to rescue yourself from every uncomfortable moment. I am here. I have been here. I was with you when you felt confused, when you misread the signs, when you ran ahead, when you spoke too quickly, when you tried to hold burdens I never assigned to you. I did not leave you in those moments, and I am certainly not leaving you now. So stop fighting my restraint. Stop resisting the holy pause. Stop calling my protection a problem. Let this be the moment where you finally trust that when I interrupt you, I am not closing my heart to you. I am drawing you closer to it. Now listen to me carefully, because I do not want you to remain in the stop. I want you to stop, and then let me lead. There is a difference. I am not calling you into emptiness. I am calling you into alignment. I am not telling you to shut down your life. I am telling you to stop moving without me. Once you release the rush, once you let go of the fear, once you stop forcing what I never asked you to force, then take my hand and walk with me. Let me guide your next conversation. Let me shape your next decision. Let me choose your pace. Let me restore your peace before you step forward again. Do not run ahead of me. Do not drag your old patterns into your next season. Stay near me. Ask me before you move. Wait for my peace before you commit. Trust my timing more than your urgency. If I say stop, then stop fully. And when I say move, move with confidence because you will know you are not going alone. This is my invitation to you now. Surrender what you have been gripping. Come closer than you have been, and let me lead you out of confusion and into clarity. Your next season does not begin with striving. It begins here, in this sacred pause, where you finally stop long enough to hear my voice and trust my hand. You have stopped, and now I am leading, and this is one of the steps I am placing before you. This is not pressure. This is invitation. A sacred moment where your obedience becomes part of something far greater than yourself. I have declared, I will rebuke the devourer for your sake, and as you give, I release covering, provision, and increase over your life. What you sow here becomes fire that carries my word into hearts that are crying out for truth. This is how you walk with me, listening, trusting, and moving when I speak. Do not remain in hesitation when I am calling you forward. Let your response be immediate, full, and surrendered. Partner with me in this mission. Give now through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, and walk boldly in obedience as I lead you into what is next. Before you leave, I want you to seal this moment with your own faith. If this message found you exactly when your soul needed it, then type this in the comments. Lord, when you say stop, I will stop and follow your lead. Do not scroll past this part. Make it personal, make it public, and make it your declaration before heaven. Your obedience is not weakness. It is the doorway to your next season. Comment it now, and let this be the moment where your surrender becomes your breakthrough. Because so much of your exhaustion has come from trying to control things that were never meant to rest entirely on your shoulders. You have been pushing yourself beyond your limits, believing that if you just work harder, move faster, or worry more, somehow everything will finally fall into place. But all that striving has only left your spirit weary and your heart restless. I never asked you to carry tomorrow before it arrives. I never asked you to live in constant fear of what might happen next. What I have been asking from you all along is trust, the kind of trust that pauses when I say pause, that listens when I speak, and that follows even when the path ahead is unclear. Right now, before your mind races ahead once again, I want you to become still enough to remember who truly holds your future together. Let these next words settle deeply into your heart. My child, stop right now. Put down the heavy things you are holding. You are rushing through your days, running a frantic race that I never asked you to enter. I see the heavy pressure at your job that makes your chest feel tight. I feel the unspoken tensions in your family that keep you awake late into the quiet night. You are terrified of the future, constantly worried about what will happen tomorrow, next week, or next year. Look at me. I am the Lord of your timeline. I hold every single second of your life safely in my hands. Breathe in deeply. Imagine standing on a dark, winding road, completely exhausted, pushing yourself to take just one more step. You think that if you stop, everything will fall apart. You believe that your constant movement is the only thing keeping your fragile life together. That is a heavy lie you carry. When I say stop, you must stop. My command to halt is not a punishment. It is an act of deep, protective grace. I am pulling you back from a dangerous ledge you cannot even see. You look at your life through a very tiny window. Your perspective is momentary, focused only on the demanding emails, the rising bills, and the immediate crises screaming for your attention. I stand high above it all. My eyes span eternity. I see the beginning and I see the end. I know that if you keep walking on this current path, you will break. I do not want you broken. I want you whole, healed, and resting in my love. Listen to my voice. I am the Good Shepherd. A good shepherd does not let his precious sheep wander blindly over a steep cliff. I will use my staff to block your path. I will close doors right in front of you. I will cause your plans to fail if those plans will eventually lead you into destruction. Do not fight me when I step in front of you. Trust me. Proceeding when I have stopped moving is incredibly dangerous. Think of the ancient Israelites in the hot desert. When my pillar of cloud stopped, they had to stop. If they marched forward on their own, they walked completely out of my divine protection and straight into the harsh, burning wilderness. You are doing the exact same thing when you force your way forward after I have said no. Examine your heart right now. Ask yourself who is actually driving your life today. Are you following my divine will, or are you desperately chasing your own human ambition? You want to build a safe, secure life, and that is a good desire. But you have crossed a boundary. Your ambition has become a relentless taskmaster whipping your tired back. I am offering you total freedom from that whip. Let us look closely at that tight knot in your stomach. Do you feel it right now? That anxious twisting deep inside you? That isn't from me. Let's undo it together. I am calling you to drop the heavy burden of trying to control everything. You wake up every morning and put the weight of the whole world on your own shoulders. You try to fix your family members. You try to outwork your colleagues so you won't be overlooked or forgotten. You scramble to secure your financial future because you secretly fear I will not provide for you. I see your hidden tears. I know the quiet desperation you hide behind a strong, smiling face. Give those fears to me today. Relinquish your desperate grip on the steering wheel of your life. When I command you to stop, I am giving you a safe place to finally breathe. It is exactly like that quiet, heavy pause right before a massive storm breaks. In that utter stillness, there is immense power. In that holy pause, I am rearranging the hard circumstances of your life. I am actively fighting battles in the unseen spiritual realm that you know nothing about. Stay exactly where you are. Wait patiently for my clear direction. Do not take another step until you have my deep peace confirming your path. I promise to guide you. I am always by your side, even when you feel completely alone in the dark. You are cherished beyond measure. You can overcome this exhausting season, but only if you choose to do it my way. Accept my pause. Rest fully in my presence. Let me be the true God of your life again. Look at your hands right now. You are holding on to your goal so tightly that your fingers are turning white. You are exhausted from the constant need to prove your worth to people who do not even truly know you. I see you checking your phone late into the night, your mind racing with ideas, tasks, and endless plans. You are desperately trying to build a secure life. You want to make sure you are never overlooked, never forgotten, and never left behind. I understand that fear. I see the heavy pressure at your job that makes you feel like you are always one mistake away from failure. But I am telling you today, you have crossed a dangerous line. Your healthy desire to work has turned into a cruel master. Your ambition has become an idol, and I am calling you to tear it down. Stop building this tower of pride. You started out wanting to do good things, wanting to provide for your family and use the gifts I gave you. But somewhere along the way, the focus shifted. You stopped building my kingdom and started frantically building your own. You measure your value by your daily output. You think that if you are not producing, you are not valuable. That is a devastating lie from the enemy, and it is draining the life out of your soul. I do not love you for what you can produce. I do not value you for your job title, your bank account, or the praise you receive from your peers. I love you simply because you are mine. Drop the heavy bricks you are carrying. I am commanding you to halt the progress of this exhausting upward climb. You believe that you must maintain constant, upward momentum, or else you will lose everything. You think that resting is the same thing as failing. That is why you feel so spiritually and physically drained. You are doing unauthorized labor. You are carrying burdens I never asked you to pick up. I never asked you to sacrifice your peace of mind for a promotion. I never asked you to sacrifice your family's harmony for a little more financial security. Breathe in my truth right now. Unclench your jaw. Relax your shoulders. Feel the tight knot of ambition in your chest begin to loosen. I am inviting you into a completely different way of living. I want you to find your true identity in my unconditional love, not in your daily output. When you let go of your desperate need to succeed on your own terms, you make room for my true blessings. I will promote you when the time is right. I will provide for you from my endless resources. Give me your driven spirit. Let me replace it with a spirit-led life. There is a massive difference between being driven by fear and being led by my spirit. A driven person is always anxious, always rushing, and always afraid of losing control. A spirit-led person is calm, steady, and completely anchored in my peace. Step off the endless treadmill of human ambition. Come sit with me. Let me remind you of who you really are. You are my beloved child, and you do not have to earn my love. You already have it all. You feel completely trapped today. I see you standing there, staring at an impossible obstacle right in front of you. It might be a pile of bills you cannot pay, a medical diagnosis that has shaken your world, or a relationship that feels like a dead end. You look forward, and you see a deep, uncrossable sea. You look behind you, and you hear the loud, terrifying sounds of your problems chasing you down. You are caught between Pharaoh and the sea. Your heart is pounding. Your mind is screaming at you to do something, to fight, to run, to figure out a clever escape plan. Hear my voice speaking directly over your panic. Stop. Stand perfectly still. Do not take another step. Do not swing your fists at empty air. Human effort is sometimes the absolute greatest hindrance to a divine miracle. You want to fix this impossible situation with your own two hands. You want to argue your way out of it, work your way out of it, or borrow your way out of it. But your frantic scrambling is only making the water muddier. I require your absolute stillness right now. I am bringing you to this exact point of total helplessness so you can finally witness my hand move. If you could save yourself, you would take the credit. I am setting the stage to reveal my undeniable power to you and to everyone watching your life. Take a very deep breath. Think of the heavy, quiet pause just before a massive wave crashes onto the shore. That is the silence you are standing in right now. It is not the silence of my absence. It is the deep, electric silence that precedes a great deliverance. Trust in this quiet moment. I know the silence terrifies you because you are used to the noise of your own constant striving. But I am commanding the noise in your head to stop. You cannot hear the waters parting if you are screaming in fear. I am fighting for you in places you cannot see. While you are standing still on the shore, I am sending a strong, sweeping wind to dry up the muddy bottom of your sea. I am holding back the forces that want to destroy you. You think you are completely unprotected, but my presence is a wall of fire standing firmly between you and your enemies. They cannot touch you without my permission. You are safe under my shadow. Wait for my explicit command. Do not move forward until I have supernaturally cleared the path. When I finally say go, the road will be dry, safe, and completely undeniable. You will not have to force your way through. You will walk right through the middle of your impossible situation with your head held high. Until that exact moment, surrender your desire to control the outcome. Let your heart rest in the reality that I am the God who splits oceans. Your job is simply to trust me. My job is to save you. I am placing a massive roadblock in your path today. You are deeply upset right now because I closed a door you desperately wanted to walk through. You are crying over a relationship that I allowed to end. You are frustrated because a certain opportunity slipped right through your fingers. You feel rejected and confused. Look at me. That closed door is not a rejection. It is my loving, fierce protection. I am commanding you to stop pursuing this toxic path. You are being drawn away from me, and I will not sit back and watch you destroy your own soul. I see exactly where this road leads. I see the hidden dangers, the silent compromises, and the bitter tears that are waiting for you just around the corner. I see how that person you are clinging to subtly dismisses your faith and drains your spirit. I see how that habit you keep returning to for comfort is slowly wrapping chains around your wrists. You think it is just a minor flaw, a temporary comfort in a stressful world. I see it as a deadly trap. I am putting a divine no in your life right now. It is a hedge of sharp thorns planted entirely around your heart to keep the wolves away. Pay close attention to your own body. Feel that lingering lack of peace in your gut. Notice how you cannot sleep soundly when you are engaging in this behavior or spending time with these people. That lack of peace is my divine stop sign flashing brightly inside you. Do not ignore my warning. Do not try to rationalize your way past the Holy Spirit's conviction. When you force your way down a path where there is no peace, you are walking straight toward a spiritual shipwreck. I am blocking this door to save your life. We are stopping the cycle of generational sin right here, right now. The toxic behaviors, the anxiety, the anger, and the compromises that have plagued your family for decades will not be passed down to your children. I am drawing a hard line in the sand with your life. You must choose my holiness over the world's cheap, temporary comforts. The world offers you a quick high, a fleeting moment of validation, or a temporary escape from your pain. I am offering you deep, lasting, eternal freedom. Turn around immediately. Stop looking back at the toxic environment I just rescued you from. Do not romanticize the very things that kept you in bondage. Thank me for the doors I slammed shut. Thank me for the people I removed from your inner circle. Accept my protective no. I am clearing out the poison so I can fill you with my pure, life-giving water. Walk away from the compromise today and walk confidently into the clean, bright future I have secured for you. Sit down right now. Close your eyes and stop moving. You treat physical and mental rest as if it is a sign of weakness. You view a day off as a wasted opportunity or a sin against your own ambitions. You run your body and your mind into the ground, convinced that the world will stop spinning if you take a break. I am telling you with complete authority, the world will keep spinning without your constant pushing. I command you to honor the rhythm of rest that I established at the very beginning of creation. Look at your sheer exhaustion. You are running on empty fumes, snapping at the people you love, and feeling completely hollow inside. The sin of overwork is not just about being busy. It is a profound lack of trust in my daily provision. When you refuse to stop working, you are silently telling me that my grace is not enough. You are declaring that your own two hands must secure your future because you do not believe I will provide for you while you sleep. Repent of this exhausting pride. I am the provider. You are simply the steward. Your soul is currently miles behind your body. You have moved so fast, jumped from task to task, and filled every single second with noise, podcasts, and scrolling, that your inner spirit is starved. I am commanding the stop so your soul can finally catch up with your physical body. You cannot connect with me when you are sprinting. I do not shout over the chaotic noise of your busy life. I speak in the quiet, still spaces that you are desperately trying to avoid. Reclaim the absolute sanctity of the pause. I mandate this rest for your spiritual renewal. This is not a suggestion. It is a vital necessity for your survival. Turn off your screens. Put away your endless to-do lists. Create a literal vacuum of silence in your home today. I know sitting in the quiet makes you uncomfortable at first. It forces you to face the thoughts and fears you have been trying to outrun. But do not run from the quiet. Lean into it. In this deliberate stillness, I will deeply nourish you. I will feed you with a peace that the loudest, busiest world cannot ever provide. I will restore the energy you thought was gone forever. I will clear the heavy fog from your mind and give you sharp, divine clarity for your next steps. Make intentional space for me today. Stop striving, stop producing, and simply practice being held by your Father. Your greatest strength will not be found in your constant hustle. It will be found in your quiet, trusting rest. As you rest in this mandated stillness, recognize that even when you stop, my word must never cease its journey into the dark corners of the world. I have halted your frantic pace so you can see the beauty of my provision, and now I invite you to become a river of that very grace to others. By choosing to support this mission through a super thanks with the links below, you are sowing into a harvest that will feed hungry souls long after you have found your peace. Just as I provided manna in the wilderness for those who stood still, I promise to multiply the seed of the generous heart that helps spread my truth. Do not let this moment of rest pass without planting a seed of impact. I am calling you to partner with me in this sacred work right now. Use the gift in your hand to carry my voice to the ends of the earth. My child, do not turn away from me now. My heart aches when I see you reach for the world's noise just as I am beginning to heal your soul in this silence. If you leave this conversation now, you are choosing your exhaustion over my restoration, and it grieves me to see you walk back into the fire alone. Stay with me. Your spirit cannot afford to miss what I am about to reveal next. Listen very closely to the quiet voice inside your chest. You are standing at a crossroads, filled with confusion and second-guessing every thought. You are constantly asking yourself, is this God telling me to stop? Or is this just the enemy trying to hinder my progress? I want to give you crystal clear discernment today. I do not want you walking in doubt. Let me teach you how to recognize my voice amidst the chaos of your mind. Understand the profound difference between my divine stop and the enemy's malicious hindrance. When the enemy attacks your plans, he brings confusion, sudden panic, and a frantic, right urgency. He makes you feel like you must make a massive decision in the next 5 seconds or your life will be ruined. When I command you to stop, I bring a deep, steady anchoring peace. Even if my stop makes absolutely no logical sense to your human mind, it will be accompanied by a quiet, unshakable assurance in your spirit. I do not offer confusion. I offer peace. Pay attention to the Holy Spirit residing inside you. You know that sudden, heavy feeling in your gut when you are about to send that angry message, sign that doubtful contract, or agree to that burdensome commitment. That sudden hesitation is my spirit checking your spirit. It is the internal brake pedal. Do not ever push past that feeling. Do not talk yourself out of it by using human logic. When you feel that check in your spirit, you must stop immediately. Evaluate every single one of your plans against the timeless, unchanging truths of my word. If your plan requires you to compromise your integrity, your peace, or your family, it is not from me. I require quick and cheerful obedience. You hear my gentle nudge to stop, but you negotiate with me. You tell me that you will stop tomorrow, after you finish this one last thing, or after you make this one last dollar. Delaying your obedience is the exact same thing as disobedience. When you hesitate, you step out from under the umbrella of my immediate protection. Develop your spiritual ear right now. Practice listening to the still, small voice. It takes intentional practice to tune out the loud demands of the world and tune into my whispers. Stop asking 10 different people for their opinions when you have not even sat quietly to ask for mine. Bring your confusion to me. Lay your complicated plans on my table. I will show you exactly what is built on solid rock and what is built on shifting sand. Trust the quiet nudge. Obey the sudden halt. I am steering you away from hidden dangers and guiding you safely home. I have whispered to you in the quiet moments of your life, but you refused to listen. I sent gentle nudges to your spirit, soft warnings that you were doing too much, moving too fast, and carrying too heavy a load. You felt that subtle exhaustion deep in your bones. You noticed the subtle strain in your relationship. You saw the warning signs flashing brightly on the dashboard of your life, yet you pressed your foot harder onto the gas pedal. You convinced yourself that you could outrun the breaking point. You believed that if you just finished this one major project, if you just secured this one specific promotion, or if you just made it through this one chaotic month, then you would finally rest. But the finish line kept moving, and you kept running. Because I love you with an everlasting, fierce love, I will not allow you to run yourself into the ground. When my children ignore the gentle nudges of my spirit, I must intervene with a firm hand. I will bring a forced stop to your life. Sometimes, I use the hard circumstances of this world to physically halt what you absolutely refuse to stop mentally. I will allow a sudden season of sickness to ground you. I will permit a sudden loss or a massive disappointment to completely shatter your tightly controlled schedule. You view these sudden interruptions as terrible tragedies or cruel punishments. You cry out in frustration, asking me why I have allowed your plans to fall apart so spectacularly. Look at me and listen carefully. There is a profound, breathtaking mercy hidden inside this painful divine intervention. I stepped in front of you because a broken plan is infinitely better than a broken life. Your relentless ambition was slowly crushing your spirit. Your obsession with your career was quietly starving your family of your true presence. I had to knock the temporary things out of your hands so you could finally see the eternal things that actually matter. I did not break your plans to hurt you. I broke your plans to save you. I know the forced stop feels incredibly painful right now. You feel completely out of control, weak, and entirely vulnerable. You are lying in a bed of forced rest, staring at the ceiling, wondering how you will ever recover the time and the momentum you have lost. Stop mourning the loss of a path that was leading you toward destruction. I am using this difficult season of physical or emotional limitation to forcefully reset your entire internal compass. Turn back to me right now. Your own human strength has finally failed you, just as I knew it eventually would. You have reached the absolute end of your own resources. This is exactly where I need you to be. You can no longer rely on your sharp intellect, your tireless work ethic, or your impressive connections. You have nothing left but me, and I am telling you today that I am more than enough. Surrender to this forced pause. Stop fighting the boundaries I have placed around you. Let my healing grace wash over your exhausted body and your weary mind. Embrace this profound mercy and allow me to rebuild your life on a foundation that will never collapse again. Close your mouth right now. Take a deep, slow breath and step back from the edge of this bitter conflict. I see the hot anger rising inside your chest. I feel the intense, burning desire you have to defend yourself, to prove that you are right, and to completely dismantle the person who has deeply hurt you. You have the perfect words lined up in your mind. You have the sharp, cutting response type out on your phone, and your thumb is hovering right over the send button. I command you to stop. Delete the message. Walk away from the argument. Halt the destructive flow of gossip, harsh judgment, and endless strife that is poisoning your soul. I am explicitly commanding you to be still in the middle of this painful conflict. You desperately want to be your own lawyer. You want to plead your own case to anyone who will listen, gathering allies to your side to validate your deep sense of injury. But every single word you speak in anger is like a splash of gasoline on a raging fire. You think you are just venting your frustrations, but you are actively burning down the bridges of your relationships. You cannot control the actions or the hurtful words of other people, but I require you to control your own tongue. Let me be your defender today. When you insist on fighting your own battles, you push me completely out of the way. You are telling me that my justice is not fast enough and my protection is not strong enough. Relinquish your desperate need to have the last word. There is profound, divine wisdom found in the multitude of words held back. It takes absolutely no strength to lash out in anger. It takes immense, supernatural strength to remain completely silent when you are falsely accused or deeply misunderstood. Look at my son, Jesus. He stood completely silent before his aggressive accusers. He did not open his mouth to defend himself, because he trusted my ultimate justice. I am calling you to that exact same level of radical trust. Create a sudden vacuum of speech in your life right now. Stop talking about your massive problems to everyone around you, and start talking to me. When your mouth is constantly moving, your spiritual ears are completely closed. I have vital counsel to give you regarding this difficult situation at your job or in your family, but I cannot give it to you while you are shouting over my gentle voice. Tame the flame before it consumes your entire forest. Bite your tongue. Swallow your immense pride. Give the heavy burden of your defense completely over to me. I promise you that I see the deep injustice you have suffered. I know exactly what was said behind your back. I know how deeply you have been wronged. You do not have to fight for your own honor. I will vindicate you in my perfect time and in my perfect way. Trust my silence. Step into the quiet and let my profound peace fight the battle for you. Turn your head and look straight ahead right now. I command you to stop looking back at the dark places I have already rescued you from. You are dragging a massive, heavy chain of past mistakes, old sins, and bitter regrets right into your beautiful present. You lie awake in the middle of the night, staring at the dark ceiling, replaying every single failure, every embarrassing moment, and every wrong choice you have ever made. You are trapped in a vicious cycle of self-condemnation. I am telling you today, this internal narrative of past failures must completely halt. Think about the ancient city of Sodom. I commanded Lot and his family to run for their lives and to never look back at the destruction. Looking back was a fatal error because it showed a heart that was still attached to the very things I was judging. You are doing the exact same thing. I have pulled you out of your old life. I have completely washed you clean. Yet, you keep turning around to stare at your past. You cannot possibly walk boldly into the bright future I have prepared for you if your eyes are constantly glued to the rearview mirror of your life. Break this heavy cycle of regret today. Your constant self-condemnation is not a sign of true humility. It is a direct insult to my total forgiveness. When you refuse to forgive yourself, you are silently declaring that my sacrifice was simply not enough to cover your specific sins. You are holding yourself to a standard of perfection that I never demanded. I demand a broken and contrite heart, and you gave that to me a long time ago. So why are you still punishing yourself? I am doing a magnificent new thing in your life right now. I am opening fresh doors, creating new opportunities, and bringing new, healthy relationships into your daily path. But you cannot fully embrace this new thing because your hands are still gripping the dead ashes of your past. Let go of the ashes. Drop the heavy stones of guilt you have been carrying for years. Accept the absolute finality of my divine forgiveness. When I forgave you, I cast your sins into the deepest part of the ocean. I removed your transgressions as far as the east is from the west. I choose to remember your sins absolutely no more. If the creator of the entire universe has completely forgotten your past failures, I command you to stop bringing them up. Stop reminding me of the things I have already erased by my grace. Step fully into the clean, unburdened freedom of this exact moment. Look forward. Walk forward. The past is entirely dead, and your new life is waiting for you. Feel your racing heart right now. Notice the shallow, quick breaths you are taking. You are completely consumed by a crushing wave of worry and deep anxiety. You are paralyzed by the endless what-if scenarios playing on a constant loop in your tired mind. What if I lose my job? What if the medical test comes back with bad news? What if my child makes a terrible mistake? What if I never find true companionship? You are desperately trying to solve tomorrow's imaginary problems with today's limited strength. I command the chaotic waves of your restless mind to be completely calm. Stop this anxious spiral immediately. These endless what-if scenarios completely bypass my solid promises. Anxiety is not just an uncomfortable emotion. It is a glaring stop sign for your spiritual growth. It is a loud alarm indicating that you have stepped entirely out of trust and into deep unbelief. You are living as if you are a spiritual orphan who must fend for yourself in a cruel, random world. I am your loving Father. I have never abandoned you in the past, and I will certainly not abandon you in your future. Ground your trembling heart in the beautiful reality of my daily bread. I taught you to pray, "Give us this day our daily bread." I did not promise you yearly bread. I did not promise to give you all the answers for the next 5 years of your life right now. I promise to give you exactly what you need, exactly when you need it, one single day at a time. Your anxiety comes from trying to carry the heavy burdens of tomorrow before I have given you the divine grace to handle them. Trade your incredibly heavy burden for my light and easy yoke. You are exhausted because you are carrying a load I never intended for you to bear. I want to carry the heavy weight of your future. I want to carry the heavy weight of your children's destiny. I want to carry the heavy weight of your financial security. Take off the heavy backpack of worry right now and hand it directly to me. Practice the powerful stop of prayer before the sudden start of panic. The very second you feel that familiar, tight knot of anxiety forming in your stomach, you must stop what you are doing. Do not let the panic build momentum. Stop the anxious thought in its tracks, forcefully take it captive, and immediately bring it to me in prayer. Tell me exactly what terrifies you. Name your specific fears out loud in my presence. Then, leave them at my feet. Refuse to pick them back up. Breathe in my deep, abiding peace, and step forward into today with a light, untroubled heart. Now that I have commanded the storm of your anxiety to be still, do not return to the smallness of your fears, but step into the greatness of my kingdom. You have traded your heavy burden for my light yoke, and in this new freedom, I am inviting you to help me set others free from their own prisons of worry. Your support through membership or a heart-led gift is the oil that keeps the lamp of this ministry burning bright for those still lost in the shadows. I declare over you that as you give to spread my word, I will open the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing so great you will not have room to contain it. Trust me with your resources just as you have trusted me with your peace. My mission requires your hands. Join me in this divine appointment today. Click the link in the description and let your giving be a shout of victory over the enemy's lies. I am searching for your eyes, but I feel you pulling back. Do not disappoint my love by returning to your prison of worry just as I have handed you the key to the gate. It would break my heart to see you carry those heavy chains for one more second when I am standing here ready to dissolve them. Listen closely, for the next words I speak are the very ones your future depends on. Look closely at the ground you are standing on today. You are frustrated and confused because I have recently stopped your rapid progress. You were moving forward so quickly in your career, your relationships, and your personal goals, and suddenly, everything came to a grinding, painful halt. You feel like you have hit a massive brick wall. You are asking me why I would stall your success when you were working so incredibly hard. I stopped your progress specifically to check what your entire life is actually built upon. I am shaking the things in your life that can be shaken, so that only the eternal, unshakable things remain. This stop is a divine building inspection. I cannot allow you to build a massive, towering structure on a weak, crumbling foundation. If I let you keep climbing higher and higher while your foundation is cracked, your eventual fall will completely destroy you. It is a profound act of love for me to halt your construction right now and force you to examine the dirt beneath your feet. We need to identify the sand in your current endeavors. Are you building your deep sense of security on the unpredictable sand of your bank account? Are you building your daily happiness on the shifting sand of another person's approval? Are you building your core identity on your job title or your outward achievements? All of these things are fragile sand. The moment the heavy rains of disappointment come and the fierce winds of hardship blow against your life, a house built on sand will violently collapse. Do not resent this frustrating period of delay. This forced stop must absolutely precede a much deeper, far more stable construction in your soul. I am digging past the superficial layers of your pride, your shallow ambitions, and your earthly dependencies. It is painful work. Digging deep always feels destructive at first. But I am digging down until we hit solid, unbreakable bedrock. I must ensure that your enthusiastic yes to me is fully supported by a firm, unwavering no to the world. You cannot stand firmly on the rock of my salvation while keeping one foot resting on the soft sand of worldly compromise. I am calling you to total, unyielding commitment. Find your absolute security in me, the rock that never moves, never changes, and never fails. When your life is built entirely upon my word and my character, no storm, no economic crash, and no personal tragedy will ever be able to tear you down. Embrace this halt. Let me secure your foundation so you can safely hold the massive blessings I am preparing to build upon your life. I see you sitting there, completely exhausted from trying to solve a massive puzzle that has missing pieces. You are holding your head in your hands, asking me why, over and over again. Why did that specific door close? Why did that relationship suddenly end? Why is this stillness lingering so long? Why did I allow your careful plans to fall apart when you were trying so hard to do the right thing? You believe that if I would just give you a clear, logical reason, you could finally find peace. You think that understanding my exact blueprint will make your current pain easier to carry. I am telling you today, you must release your tight grip on the need for answers. I command you to stop interrogating my sovereignty. Listen to my voice. Your human mind is entirely too small to grasp the complex, beautiful, eternal tapestry I am weaving with your life. You are looking at the back of the tapestry, seeing only messy threads and dark, tangled knots. I am looking at the front, seeing a breathtaking masterpiece. When I command you to stop, I am asking you to accept the pause even when the reason is completely hidden from you. I am inviting you into the profound, quiet beauty of blind obedience. Blind obedience is not weakness. It is the ultimate expression of perfect love. It is a child confidently holding their father's hand in a pitch-black room, knowing they are perfectly safe even though they cannot see the walls. Trust my heart when you cannot trace my hand. I know the dark mystery of my timing frustrates you deeply. You live in a world that demands instant answers, instant search results, and immediate explanations. But I do not operate on your hurried human schedule. Some grand revelations are strictly reserved for the very end of your journey. If I showed you the full reason right now, it would overwhelm you. It would crush you under a weight of knowledge you are not yet prepared to carry. My silence on the why is actually a blanket of profound mercy covering your mind. Stop demanding a detailed explanation before you take the next step of faith. I am asking you to trust my character. Have I ever failed you in the past? Have I ever left you completely abandoned in your darkest night? I have always provided for you. I have always protected you. Therefore, you can fully trust me right now, in this confusing, silent space. Give up your exhausting demand to know every detail. Rest your weary head on my shoulder today. Stop wrestling with the questions that keep you awake at night. And over your deep confusion and your burning need for control. I promise to give you something far better than a simple answer. I will give you my abiding, unshakable peace. Find your security in the absolute mystery of my divine timing. Walk forward in the dark with me, knowing that my love is the only light you truly need to take the next single step. Look closely at your own eyes right now. They are tired, heavily strained, and completely out of focus. You have been running so incredibly fast for so long, staring blindly at the blurry, passing scenery of your worldly ambitions. You have fixed your gaze on your bank account balance, your career goals, and the constant, noisy demands of your daily schedule. Because you have been staring so hard at these temporary things, you have entirely lost sight of what is truly real. I command you to stop running. I am calling this immediate pause to completely clear your blurred vision. Fix your eyes once again on me, the true author and finisher of your faith. When you are constantly rushing, a thick layer of dust settles over your spiritual eyes. You become entirely blind to the precious people and the urgent needs standing right in front of you. You miss the quiet, lonely tears of your spouse because you were too busy looking at your phone. You miss the deep, silent plea for connection in your child's eyes because your mind was fully occupied with tomorrow's stressful meeting. You miss the gentle beauty of my creation because you were rushing to get to the next exhausting task. Allow this forced stop to wash your eyes clean. Let the hard scales of worldliness completely fall from your face. I am stepping in to forcefully adjust your broken internal compass. You have drifted far off course, chasing a definition of success that I never wrote for you. You have been following the loud, demanding voice of the culture instead of the quiet, steady true north of my perfect will. Breathe deeply and look around you with brand new eyes. See the actual reality of your life. See the abundant blessings you have completely ignored while you were desperately hunting for more. See the broken-hearted people in your own neighborhood who desperately need the exact love I have placed inside your heart. I am granting you the profound clarity that only comes through a dedicated period of quiet waiting. Turn your head away from the cheap, flashing lights of the world. Stop looking to other people to validate your daily existence. I am your singular focus. I am your ultimate prize. When you finally stop and look directly into my face, all the terrifying giants and massive obstacles in your path will shrink down to their proper, tiny size. Let me recalibrate your vision today. I promise to show you the hidden, beautiful path I have laid out for you. But you must stand perfectly still and keep your eyes locked entirely on me. You are standing in a dark hallway right now, furiously pounding your fists against a thick, heavy, locked door. Your knuckles are bruised, and your heart is completely shattered. You are crying angry tears, demanding to know why I locked you out of the very room you thought you belonged in. You begged me for that specific job, and I gave it to someone else. You pleaded with me to save that specific relationship, and I allowed the person to walk away. You prayed for that exact house, that exact opportunity, and I shut the door firmly in your face. I command you to stop pounding on the wood. Stop forcing your way into a place I have permanently sealed. Understand deeply that my strict stop is very often a loving not this way. You view this closed door as a harsh rejection, a bitter failure, or a sign that I do not care about your deep desires. That is a terrible lie. My firm no is just as incredibly loving, just as fiercely protective as my joyful yes. I can see straight through that door, and you cannot. I see the hidden misery, the terrible compromise, and the profound spiritual danger waiting for you on the other side. Thank me right now for the opportunities I explicitly did not allow you to have. Thank me for the toxic relationships I blocked from your life. Thank me for the stressful, draining jobs you did not get. You think I am holding good things back from you, but I am actually shielding you from a heavy burden that would have eventually crushed your spirit. I am actively protecting your future. Step back from the locked door. I am completely redirecting you toward your true, eternal calling. You cannot walk down the bright, beautiful hallway I have prepared for you if you refuse to leave the dark corner of this denied opportunity. Avoid the bitter frustration of trying to pick the lock on a door I have sovereignly shut. When I shut a door, no man can open it. And when I open a door, no man can shut it. Wait patiently for the specific key that only I hold. I have the perfect door prepared for you. It will open at the exact right time, without you having to force it, beg for it, or compromise your soul to enter it. Wipe your tears. Turn your back on the rejection. Walk closely with me down this new path, and trust completely that I am leading you exactly where you truly belong. I have not forgotten your desires. I am simply upgrading them to match my perfect will for your life. Look closely at what you are feeding yourself every single day. I am not just talking about food. Look at the endless media you consume, the cheap entertainment you binge, and the constant, selfish desires you blindly rush to fulfill. You are completely addicted to comfort. You are desperately trying to fill a massive, eternal void inside your soul with shallow, temporary things. You run to food, to shopping, to alcohol, or to endless scrolling the moment you feel a slight ping of stress or sadness. I command you to stop satisfying the ravenous, destructive desires of your fallen human nature. Recognize right now that yourself has aggressively taken the driver's seat of your life. Your ego is steering the car, and it is driving you straight into a ditch of spiritual apathy. You want exactly what you want, and you want it right now. You hate the word no. You despise discipline. But I am calling you to completely pull the car over. I am commanding you to put your selfish, fleshly desires forcefully in the back seat. Embrace the powerful, holy stop of fasting. I am calling you to intentionally deny your physical body so you can finally feed your starving spirit. You have overfed your flesh and completely starved your soul. That is exactly why you feel so incredibly weak when temptation knocks on your door. Put to sudden death the lazy deeds and the hidden, comfortable habits that constantly hinder your daily walk with me. Stop running to your earthly comforts for peace, and start running to my presence. Choose the difficult, narrow gate over the broad, easy road of more. The world constantly shouts at you that you need more money, more pleasure, more comfort, and more stuff to be truly happy. I am telling you that true, lasting joy is found in the rigid discipline of less. It is found in saying no to your immediate impulses. It is found in taking up your heavy cross daily and choosing my hard truth over your soft comfort. I want to give you absolute, unbreakable freedom today. The freedom you are looking for is not found in doing whatever you want. It is found in having the divine power to stop doing what destroys you. Surrender your physical appetites and your mental addictions entirely to me. Let me break the heavy chains of overconsumption and extreme self-indulgence. I offer you the true bread of life. Feed on my word today, and you will never walk away hungry again. You have chosen the narrow gate and stopped feeding the selfish desires of the flesh. So now let us feed the spirit of a world that is starving for my presence. When you say no to the temporary comforts of the world, you create a holy space for me to use you as a vessel of eternal transformation. I am looking for those who will put my gospel above their own luxury, using their super thanks and donations to build a storehouse of truth for the broken. I promise that the hand that gives to my work will never be empty, for I am the God who rewards those who seek my kingdom first. Your sacrifice today is the fire that will ignite hope in a heart you may never meet on this side of heaven. Do not hesitate when my spirit nudges your heart to act. Go now to the description, give as I have blessed you, and watch how I make your own cup run over. You hear the urgency in my voice. We are standing at the threshold of your transformation, yet I feel your attention drifting toward the very distractions that have kept you empty. Do not grieve my spirit by choosing the temporary over the eternal right now. If you stop listening, you are walking away from the very strength you've been begging me for. Stay, and let me finish the work I have started in you. You are tightly holding on to a sacred promise I gave you a very long time ago. I spoke a quiet word over your life, your family, or your calling, and you believe it. But now, months or even years have passed. The waiting room has become incredibly dark and painfully silent. You look around, and absolutely nothing looks like the promise I spoke. You are deeply tired of waiting. You are severely tempted to take matters directly into your own two hands, to force the outcome, and to make the miracle happen on your own timeline. I command you to stop right now. Understand deeply why this painful stop is absolutely necessary between the spoken word and the final fulfillment. I am not delaying to punish you. I am actively refining your character in this dark, quiet waiting room of faith. If I handed you the massive weight of the promise right now, before your character was strong enough to carry it, the blessing would completely crush you. I am using this frustrating delay to build deep roots of endurance, unshakable trust, and profound humility inside your heart. Avoid the terrible mistake of creating an Ishmael. Do not rush my perfect plan by trying to manufacture an early, cheap version of my specific promise. When you force your own solution because you are tired of my delay, you create complications, heartbreak, and long-lasting consequences that I never intended for you. Do not settle for a human compromise when I have promised you a divine miracle. Drop your backup plans. Stop plotting and scheming. I promise to renew the failing strength of those who simply wait on me. You feel incredibly weak today because you are spending all your energy trying to figure out when and how I am going to move. Redirect that precious energy. Spend it on worshiping me right here, directly in the middle of the confusing hallway. Learn the profound truth that my sovereign delays are never my denials. The silence you hear is not the silence of my absence. It is the quiet, holy working of a masterpiece coming together entirely behind the scenes. Trust the slow, steady gestation period of your miracle. A beautiful, healthy life takes time to grow in the dark. Do not try to pull the seed out of the dirt just to see if it is growing. Leave it in my capable hands. I watch over my specific word to perform it. I have not forgotten you, and I have not abandoned the promise. Wait for me. I will bring it to pass in a way that will completely blow your mind. Look at everything your hands have built recently. You are standing at the absolute peak of a great mountain. I see your business thriving, your bank account growing, and your relationships blossoming. I hear the loud applause of the people around you who admire your hard work. You finally feel safe, secure, and incredibly successful. You are rushing forward, eager to build bigger barns, secure larger contracts, and expand your influence even further. You think that because everything is going perfectly right, you should push the gas pedal all the way down to the floor. I am stepping in front of you today with a very surprising command. I command you to stop right now, directly in the middle of your massive success. I call for this sudden pause precisely because everything seems to be going flawlessly. I know the dangerous, hidden traps that lie inside seasons of absolute ease. When you were struggling in the dark valley, you desperately clung to my hand every single morning. You prayed fervently because you knew you could not survive without my direct intervention. But now that your stomach is full and your bills are easily paid, a subtle, quiet drift has started in your heart. You are slowly beginning to believe that your own sharp intellect and your own tireless efforts produce this bountiful harvest. You are looking at your full barns and whispering to yourself that you are finally in control. Stop this dangerous thinking immediately. Prevent this spiritual drift before it destroys you. I am pulling you aside to remind you exactly who gave you the strength to climb this mountain. I gave you the breath in your lungs. I gave you the creative ideas that sparked your business. I commanded the favor that opened those massive doors for you. I am asking you to stop producing for just one moment and give me the glory before you take the credit. If you do not pause to acknowledge my hand in your success, your bright success will quickly become a heavy, suffocating idol. Reevaluate your stewardship right now before I take you to the next level. I have given you immense influence, money, and power. But these tools are not toys for your own personal amusement. They are heavy responsibilities meant for the building of my kingdom. How are you treating the people who work under you? Are you hoarding your new wealth out of a hidden fear of poverty, or are you generously pouring it out to bless the broken people around you? I demand a complete accounting of your heart. Keep your spirit remarkably soft while your worldly influence aggressively grows. The higher you climb, the colder and harder the air becomes. Do not let your heart turn to stone. Stop staring at your impressive numbers and start staring at my face again. I promise to protect your blessings, but you must keep me at the absolute center of your joy. Give me back the crown. Lay your impressive trophies quietly at my feet. Let me wash your feet today, just as I did for my disciples, so you never forget that the greatest among you must always remain a humble servant. Turn entirely around right now. I command you to stop walking down this dark, dead-end road. You know exactly what I am talking about. You feel that heavy, sinking feeling in your chest every single time you engage in that hidden habit. You feel the sharp sting of conviction when you tell that convenient lie, or when you let your eyes wander to places they should never go. You are aggressively running away from me, completely exhausted, carrying the suffocating weight of your own rebellion. You are trying to ignore the loud alarm bells ringing in your conscience by staying constantly busy and surrounding yourself with loud noise. I am standing directly in your path today. Stop running. Recognize this immediate moment of conviction as a profound act of my mercy. I do not point out your sin to crush you or to shame you in front of the world. I point it out because I love you entirely too much to let you comfortably destroy yourself. You are holding on to a toxic poison, convincing yourself that it is a sweet drink. I am commanding you to drop the cup. The U-turn of true repentance requires a complete physical and mental cessation of your forward movement. You cannot slowly coast out of rebellion. You must slam on the brakes, acknowledge you are going the wrong way, and completely turn your life around. True, lasting change absolutely cannot happen while you are still making excuses. Stop rationalizing your bad behavior. Stop blaming your childhood, your stressful job, or your frustrating spouse for the choices you are actively making today. On your mistakes in my presence. I already know everything you have done in the dark. I saw every hidden moment, and I still love you fiercely. You do not have to hide your dirty hands from me. Bring them into the light. I am the only one who can wash them completely clean. Return to your father's house right now. You have wandered into a lonely, desolate country, feeding on the cheap garbage of the world. You feel incredibly unworthy to come back. You have prepared a long, pitiful speech about how you are no longer fit to be called my child. Throw that speech away. Stop punishing yourself, because I have already paid the complete price for your total forgiveness. Look up and see me running towards you. I am not holding a stick to beat you. I am holding a beautiful robe of righteousness to cover your deep shame. The very second you stop your rebellion and turn your face toward me, there is massive, explosive joy in heaven. I command you to accept my forgiveness today. Leave the heavy chains of your habitual sin in the dirt where they belong. Step into my wide-open arms, completely surrender your stubborn will, and let me lead you safely back into the light. Sit down and rest your tired bones right now. I command you to stop pushing your fragile human body past its God-given limits. You are completely burned out. Your head constantly aches, your eyes are heavy, and you are snapping aggressively at the people you love the most. You are heavily relying on caffeine, sheer willpower, and nervous energy just to survive the basic tasks of your day. You view your physical need for sleep as an annoying weakness. You act as if you are the savior of your own world, required to be everywhere, do everything, and fix everyone. I am telling you with absolute authority, you are entirely human, and your human limitations are a beautiful gift from me. Recognize this forced stop as divine preservation. I am stepping in to preserve your physical and mental health for the long marathon race ahead. If you keep running at this frantic, breakneck speed, your engine will completely blow out. I do not want you ending up in a hospital bed because you refuse to honor the boundaries of your own body. I designed you from the soft dust of the earth. I know your frame. I know exactly how much pressure you can carry before you crack. Learn the incredible, holy discipline of saying no. You are terrified of disappointing people. You say yes to every single request, every volunteer opportunity, and every extra project at work because you want to be seen as reliable and deeply important. I command you to stop saying yes to good things so you can finally say yes to the absolute best things. Your family needs your peaceful presence far more than your church or your company needs your frantic productivity. Understand deeply that I am the only one who never slumbers and never sleeps. When you close your eyes at night, the universe does not fall apart. I am upholding the entire world with the word of my power. You can safely let go of the steering wheel. You can turn off your phone. You can leave the dishes in the sink and the emails in your inbox. I command you to stop striving and start abiding. Think of a branch attached to a strong, healthy vine. The branch does not sweat, struggle, or panic to produce fruit. It simply rests securely in the vine, drawing up the life-giving sap, and the fruit grows naturally. I am the true vine. You are just the branch. Disconnect from the chaotic, draining energy of the world today. Attach yourself entirely to my presence. I promise to completely restore your depleted energy, heal your exhausted mind, and give you the sustainable, quiet strength you need for tomorrow. Sleep in peace tonight, knowing that your Father is awake and perfectly handling all of your impossible problems. Create an absolute vacuum of silence in your life right now. I command you to turn off the television, silence your phone, and stop the endless scrolling. Your entire day is packed with constant, overwhelming noise. You listen to podcasts in the shower, the radio in your car, and music while you work. You are terrified of the quiet because the quiet forces you to hear the anxious, racing thoughts in your own mind. But because you are constantly drowning out your own thoughts, you are completely drowning out my voice as well. I cannot speak deep truths to a heart that is always in a frantic hurry. I am calling you to create a Selah moment today. Selah is a holy pause, a deliberate interruption of the music to deeply meditate on what has just been played. I command you to stop moving your mouth and start opening your spiritual ears. You come to me in prayer with a massive grocery list of demands, complaints, and urgent requests. You talk for 5 minutes, say amen, and immediately run out the door to start your busy day. You never sit still long enough to actually hear my answer. Intimacy is entirely birthed in shared silence. Think about sitting in a quiet room with the person you love most in the world. You do not have to talk constantly to feel their deep love and their comforting presence. I want that exact same intimacy with you. I want you to become a person who intensely values my quiet presence far more than your own worldly progress. Listen closely for the specific instructions for the very next phase of your journey. I have incredible wisdom to give you regarding your children, your career, and your current struggles. I want to tell you exactly which path to take and which traps to entirely avoid. But my voice is not a loud, aggressive shout. My voice is a still, small, gentle whisper. You have to lean in very closely to hear it. Practice the heavy discipline of doing absolutely nothing in my presence. Sit still in a chair for 10 minutes today. Do not read anything. Do not ask for anything. Simply breathe deeply and say, "Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening." Let my profound peace wash over your chaotic mind. I promise to meet you perfectly in the quiet. I will gently correct your course, soothe your deepest anxieties, and give you the clear, undeniable direction you have been desperately begging for. Stop the noise. Embrace the silence. Let me finally have a complete conversation with your soul. In the profound silence of this listening heart, do you hear the cry of the millions who have never heard my whisper? I have stopped your life so you could hear my counsel, and now I ask you, will you help me reach those who are still drowning in the noise? Your financial partnership through PayPal or membership is not merely a transaction. It is a prophetic act that carries my healing frequency into the chaos of human suffering. As you honor me with your substance, I will honor you with deeper revelations and a favor that surrounds you like a shield. I am calling you to move from being a listener to being a builder of my eternal house. The time is short, and the need is immense. Act with the urgency of a servant who hears the Master's call. Support this mission today and become the answer to someone else's desperate prayer. My precious one, I have opened the depths of my heart to you, but it would be a profound tragedy if you close your ears before the final instruction. To walk away now is to leave my promises half-heard and my guidance incomplete. Do not let the enemy steal this moment of intimacy. I have reserved the most vital revelations for these final steps. Honor my heart by finishing this journey with me. Take a deep breath and completely let go of your rigid schedule right now. I see your intense frustration. You planned your day perfectly. You had every single minute blocked out for maximum productivity. And then, the sudden interruption hit. A tire went flat. A child got sick. A meeting was completely canceled, or a needy person stopped you in the hallway and would not stop talking. Your blood pressure is rising, and you are silently fuming because your perfect plans have been completely derailed. I command you to stop viewing these unexpected moments as attacks or massive inconveniences. See this sudden stop as a divine, perfectly timed appointment. You think your schedule is the most important thing in the world. I am telling you that my hidden agenda is infinitely more important. I sovereignly place these sudden interruptions directly in your path to test your genuine love for other people. It is very easy to be kind and loving when everything goes exactly your way. The true test of your character is how you react when I completely disrupt your carefully laid plans. Embrace the powerful ministry of the detour. The very person who is delaying you right now might be the exact person I sent you to save, comfort, or fiercely encourage today. You are so intensely focused on getting to your ultimate destination that you are completely missing the beautiful ministry standing right in front of you on the side of the road. Let go of your desperate need for ultimate efficiency. I do not measure your daily success by how many items you crossed off your to-do list. I measure it by how fiercely and patiently you love the people I place directly in your path. I am actively working in the wasted moments of your day. You sit in a massive traffic jam, beating the steering wheel, declaring that you are wasting precious time. Stop complaining. Use that forced, enclosed pause to worship me. Use that sudden delay to pray for your family. I will completely transform your annoying interruptions into holy, sacred encounters if you will simply change your bitter perspective. Be radically interruptible for the sake of my gospel. Do not be so busy doing important God's work that you completely ignore the broken, bleeding person lying on the road. Look at my son, Jesus. His entire earthly ministry was heavily built on sudden interruptions. He stopped for the bleeding woman. He stopped for the blind beggar. He stopped for the little children when his disciples told him he was entirely too busy. I command you to be exactly like him. Drop your planner today. Yield entirely to my unexpected flow. I promise to bring incredible light and unexpected joy out of the very delays that frustrate you the most. Look closely at the perfect example of my own son, Jesus. I want you to completely fix your weary eyes on him right now. When he walked on this dusty earth, he did absolutely nothing on his own accord. He moved only when he saw me moving. He spoke only the word he heard me speak you. And most importantly, he stopped entirely when I commanded him to stop. You look at your own life and you see your deep surrender as a humiliating defeat. You think that if you lay down your desperate plans, you are somehow losing the battle. I command you to look at the dark, heavy soil of the Garden of Gethsemane. Walk into that quiet garden with me today. See Jesus kneeling in the dirt, sweating drops of blood under the crushing, unimaginable pressure of what was about to happen. He had a human will, just like you have a human will. His human flesh deeply desired to completely avoid the terrible pain, the intense humiliation, and the physical cross that was waiting for him. He prayed fervently, asking if there was any possible way for the bitter cup to pass from him. But then, he deliberately executed the most powerful stop in all of human history. He stopped fighting for his own comfort. He stopped preserving his own life. He bowed his head in the dark night and declared, "Nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done." I am calling you to that exact same place of radical, beautiful submission today. You are fiercely fighting the specific cup I have allowed into your life right now. You are aggressively trying to escape the difficult marriage, the demanding job, the tight finances, or the lonely season of waiting. You are begging me to completely remove the heavy pressure. I am telling you that this very pressure is meant to produce a holy oil in your life. Stop fighting the very process that is designed to bring you ultimate victory. Learn to willingly lay down your life directly at my command. The world aggressively teaches you to fight for your rights, to constantly assert your own power, and to demand exactly what you think you deserve. I am completely turning that worldly wisdom upside down. The ultimate submission of Jesus on the cross directly led to the ultimate victory of the MP2. When you fight me, you lose everything. When you completely surrender to me, you gain the entire kingdom. Feel the profound, unexplainable peace that immediately follows a fully surrendered heart. The moment you finally stop wrestling with me, the heavy exhaustion will completely lift from your shoulders. You are so tired because you have been wrestling with the Creator of the universe. Let go of the rope right now. Model your deliberate pause after the beautiful humility of Christ. Step down from the throne of your own life. Hand the heavy crown directly to me. I promise you that the beautiful resurrection waiting on the other side of your complete surrender will be more glorious than you could ever possibly imagine. Take your eyes off your neighbor right now. I command you to completely stop looking sideways at the bright, shining paths of the people around you. You are constantly scrolling through your phone, watching the curated highlight reels of your friends, your family members, and complete strangers. You see them getting massive promotions, buying beautiful homes, getting married, and seemingly living their absolute best lives. Meanwhile, you are sitting quietly in the uncomfortable waiting room where I have firmly told you to stop. A dark, bitter fire of envy is slowly starting to burn inside your chest. You are silently asking me, why are they getting a green light while I am stuck at a red light? Stop asking that question immediately. Understand deeply that your divine stop will always look radically different from someone else's go. I am not treating you unfairly. I am treating you individually. I have not forgotten your address. I have not overlooked your hard work. You are simply running a completely different race on a completely different track. If a runner constantly turns their head to stare aggressively at the person in the lane next to them, they will eventually stumble and fall flat on their face. I am calling this pause to force you to look straight ahead at the specific finish line I have clearly marked just for you. Focus entirely on the unique, beautiful blueprint I have drawn for your life. You are deeply frustrated because your timeline does not match their timeline, but you do not know the hidden, heavy burdens they are carrying behind their smiling photos. You do not know the fierce spiritual battles they have fought to get where they are. You are comparing your difficult, messy behind-the-scenes reality to their perfectly polished public performance. I command you to completely quench the destructive fire of envy through finding your absolute contentment entirely in me. Trust my highly individual, deeply personal plan for your soul. If I gave you the exact same blessings I gave them right now, it would completely crush you, because your foundation is built differently. I am taking the extra time to dig your roots much deeper because I plan to grow your branches much higher. Do not resent the necessary darkness of the dirt. The dirt is exactly where the essential growth happens. Celebrate their joyful progress without deeply resenting your current pause. Learn to genuinely clap for the people who are winning right now. When you can sincerely rejoice in someone else's harvest while you are still standing in a completely barren field, you prove to me that your heart is finally ready for your own breakthrough. Stop looking to the left and stop looking to the right. Look directly at me. I have beautiful, unimaginable blessings holding your specific name, and no one else can ever take what I have set aside entirely for you. Wake up right now. Shake the heavy sleep entirely off your eyes. I command you to stop wasting your precious time on the trivial, temporary distractions of this fading world. You are actively living as if you have thousands of years left to secure your legacy. You are deeply entangled in petty arguments, shallow entertainment, and the relentless, exhausting pursuit of earthly comfort. You have completely lost the urgent, burning expectation of my soon return. I am calling this definitive stop to force you to look closely at the horizon. The dark night is nearly over, and the bright, blinding dawn is about to break. Use this mandatory pause to aggressively trim your spiritual lamp and gather fresh oil. Think of the wise virgins who deliberately prepared for the sudden arrival of the bridegroom. They did not wait until the absolute last minute to secure their oil. They were completely ready, standing still, waiting with bright, burning lamps. Your lamp has grown dangerously dim. You have allowed the heavy, suffocating cares of this world to completely smother your passionate love for me. I am commanding you to fill your vessel with the pure oil of my presence today. Ensure your daily priorities are strictly aligned with absolute eternity. When you finally stand before my great throne, I will not ask you about your bank account balance, your impressive job title, or how many people followed you on social media. I will ask you what you did with the precious truth I entrusted to your hands. Are you actively using this quiet season to pray for your lost family members? Are you utilizing this pause to strengthen the weak, hurting people around you? I'm creating this stop so you can participate in a massive, final harvest of souls, live every single day with the intense, joyful expectation of my sudden knock. You must become a servant who is actively waiting by the door, listening intently for the Master's footsteps. When you live with the powerful reality of eternity burning in your mind, the stressful, annoying problems of your current day will instantly shrink to their proper, tiny size. The things that normally make you angry will completely lose their grip on your heart. Strengthen the good things that still remain in your life. Fortify your daily prayer life. Deepen your intense study of my unchanging word. Stop giving your best energy to a world that is already passing away. Direct your absolute focus entirely upward. I am coming soon. The grand, final movement of history is rapidly approaching. Do not be found desperately clinging to the cheap, broken toys of this earth. Stand up tall. Wash your hands clean. Wait patiently in the quiet, because your ultimate, eternal redemption is drawing incredibly near. Listen to the very beat of your own heart as we bring this divine conversation to a close. You have heard my firm commands. You have felt the deep, undeniable pull of my Holy Spirit drawing you completely out of your frantic rushing and directly into my protective arms. I have asked you to lay down your burning ambitions, release your bitter past, stop your anxious worrying, and trust my invisible hand. Now, I want to clearly reveal the breathtaking reward that is waiting for the soul that promptly and cheerfully obeys my stop. A magnificent blessing is found in your immediate, unquestioning obedience. When you choose to stop moving and start trusting, I promise to lead you directly beside the still, quiet waters. I will not lead you into a raging, chaotic river. I will lead you to a place of profound, deep soul rest. Your mind will suddenly become incredibly clear. Your exhausted body will find true, lasting healing. The heavy, dark clouds of depression and fear that have been severely choking your joy will completely evaporate in the bright warmth of my absolute presence. Understand that your faithful obedience today is actively preparing you for my incredible glory tomorrow. You are not just resting for the sake of resting. You are actively stopping to be completely refilled, powerfully restored, and heavily armed for the beautiful assignment I am about to hand you. When I finally say go, you will run with a supernatural strength you have never experienced before. You will not quickly grow weary, and you will absolutely not faint, because your deep energy will come directly from my endless well, not from your own shallow cup. Look forward to the ultimate, grand stop of heaven. There is a glorious day rapidly coming when all of your exhausting earthly labors will completely and permanently cease. There will be absolutely no more crying, no more painful striving, no more sickness, and no more bitter goodbyes. I will personally wipe every single hot tear from your tired eyes. You will enter into a permanent, eternal Sabbath rest entirely in my beautiful presence. Everything you are enduring right now is simply a brief, temporary preparation for that eternal weight of absolute glory. Hear my final, loving call to your weary spirit today. Trust my perfect timing above absolutely everything else. Do not rush back into the loud, chaotic noise the second this conversation ends. Carry this profound, holy stillness with you into your job, into your home, and into your darkest nights. I love you with an everlasting, unbreakable, infinite love. Enter right now into the deep, abiding joy of your Lord. Walk directly through the wide-open gate of total surrender, and let me finally give you the profound, beautiful peace you have been desperately searching for all your life. As you enter into the joy of your Lord through the gate of surrender, remember that your stop has prepared you for a glorious movement. You are now a steward of the peace I have given you, and I invite you to use that strength to propel my word into the final harvest. Your support through super thanks or the links below ensures that the gate of surrender remains open for every child of mine who is still searching for the way home. I release a prophetic blessing over your finances. Because you have honored my word, I will cause your storehouses to burst with plenty and your vats to overflow with new wine. This is your divine appointment to finish this journey with an act of radical faith. Do not leave my presence today without sealing your obedience with a gift of love. Click the link, give from your heart, and step into the fullness of the reward I have prepared for you. This is the moment of your choosing, and my spirit waits with bated breath. Do not let this encounter end in silence, for a heart that hears but does not respond is a heart that remains in the dark. It would be my greatest disappointment to see you return to your old ways after I have shown you the light. Seal your fate with your words now. Do not let this divine window close without your yes. Do not let this holy, heavy pause slip through your weary fingers, my beloved. If you are finally ready to drop your exhausting burdens and surrender your frantic race, I am calling you to make a powerful declaration right now. Go to the comments below and boldly type, "Lord, I stop my striving, and I surrender my entire path to you." By writing these very words, you are sealing a divine covenant, locking the door on your anxiety, and stepping fully into the unshakable fortress of my peace. Make your sacred declaration today. Stand perfectly still, and watch how I move heaven and earth to fight your impossible battles. Amen.